Elon just claimed Grok 4.5 is Opus class. If he's right, everything changed today. For months, Claude Opus has dominated the AI leaderboards. It's been the gold standard for complex reasoning and coding. GPT-4o is powerful, Gemini is impressive, but neither has touched Opus's reign. The entire AI story of 2026 has been simple: Opus at the top, everyone else chasing. Then today happened. SpaceX AI dropped Grok 4.5, and Elon made a claim that's going to ripple through the industry. He said it matches Opus, not close to Opus, not approaching Opus, matches it. On the benchmarks that matter most, Grok 4.5 performs at the same level as Claude Opus. That's not a small upgrade, that's a seismic change. Think of it this way: if Opus is the undefeated heavyweight champion, Grok was the hungry challenger training in the gym. Today, the challenger walked into the ring and said, "I'm ready for the title fight. Not maybe ready, ready now." So what does it mean for Grok to be Opus level? Is Elon telling the truth? And what changes in the AI market now that competition at the elite tier just got real? Here's where the story gets interesting. So who is X AI? And why does Elon's company matter in the AI race? Well, Elon built X AI specifically to compete with Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google at the highest level of AI development. It's not a side project, it's his focused effort to prove that frontier AI can be developed faster and better outside the typical Silicon Valley playbook. The company launched in 2023, and Grok was their first model. From day one, it had a personality. Grok is cheeky, irreverent, and willing to engage with topics other AI models refuse to touch. It was designed to be different, smarter than existing options, and unafraid to have a real conversation with users. The early versions were good, not Opus level, but genuinely useful for reasoning and coding, but they knew they needed to close the gap. That's where Grok 4.5 comes in. This isn't just a normal iteration. X AI went all in. They rebuilt the training pipeline, optimized the model architecture, and spent months running benchmarks against Opus, GPT-4o, and Gemini Pro. The goal was clear: reach Opus-level performance or don't release. According to Elon and X AI's internal tests, they got there. They say Grok 4.5 matches Opus on reasoning, beats it on raw speed, and handles complex coding tasks just as well. Whether the independent AI community agrees is the question everyone's asking right now. So what does it actually mean for a model to be Opus class? It's not just one benchmark, it's a combination of scores across multiple tests that measure different AI capabilities. First, reasoning. Opus is famous for tackling step-by-step logic problems that trip up weaker models. These are tests where the AI needs to think through multiple layers of a problem before answering. Imagine a complex logic puzzle where one wrong turn ruins the whole solution. Opus handles these at around 93% success rate. If Grok 4.5 truly matches that, it means it's operating at the frontier. Then there's coding. This is where the AI reads a specification and writes working software, not pseudocode, actual runnable debugged code. Opus scores around 90% on human eval, a benchmark that tests real programming ability. That's elite. Finally, there's general knowledge and writing quality. Opus understands context deeply and generates text that reads like it was written by a smart human, not an AI. No awkward phrasings, no repetition, no generic sound. The benchmarks X AI is citing show Grok 4.5 matching Opus on reasoning, exceeding it on coding speed, and matching it on writing quality. If those numbers hold up under independent testing, then Grok 4.5 isn't just good, it's genuinely in the elite. But here's what most people aren't talking about: benchmarks can be gamed. The real test is what happens when millions of users try Grok 4.5 in the wild. So what can you actually do with Grok 4.5 that you couldn't do with a weaker model? Let's look at real examples. First, coding. You give Grok 4.5 a specification like write a function that validates email addresses using regex and handles edge cases. A weaker model gives you pseudocode or buggy code that doesn't run. Grok 4.5 returns production-ready code with proper error handling, inline documentation, and optimizations. You can paste it directly into your project. That's not just useful, that's a developer's dream. Second, research and analysis. You give it a complex topic, say, analyzing how supply chain disruptions in semiconductor manufacturing affect GPU availability and pricing. Grok 4.5 reads the research you point it to, synthesizes multiple sources, identifies contradictions, and gives you a nuanced take that shows real understanding. It's not just summarizing, it's thinking. Third, creative and technical writing. You're a writer working on a sci-fi story about AI. You ask Grok 4.5 to brainstorm plot twists that are scientifically plausible, emotionally compelling, and original. Grok 4.5 gives you ideas that actually feel fresh, not recycled from 1,000 prompts. That's Opus-level performance. It doesn't just answer your question, it anticipates what you actually needed, handles edge cases, and produces work that saves you hours. The models below it feel slow and unreliable by comparison. Opus-level means every response feels like the AI actually understood what you were asking. So how does Grok 4.5 stack up against Opus? The numbers are impressive. On AIM, a benchmark for mathematical reasoning, Opus scores 92% and Grok 4.5 scores 91%, essentially equivalent. On Math 500, both score in the upper 80s. On Human Eval, a coding benchmark, Grok actually edges ahead at 92% versus Opus at 90%. Compare that to GPT-4o. OpenAI's model scores 3 to 5% lower than Opus on reasoning benchmarks. Gemini Pro is similar, solid, but not elite. Grok 4.5's arrival means there's finally genuine competition at the top. But here's the twist. Benchmarks measure raw capability, not real-world usefulness. Opus has months of production feedback, countless edge cases tested, and a well-understood profile. Grok 4.5 is the newcomer with impressive lab results, but no battle scars from production. Speed is another factor. AI claims Grok 4.5 is faster than Opus. For many users, a faster model that's 95% as capable is better than a slower elite model. If speed holds up, that's a killer advantage. The data suggests AI told the truth. Grok 4.5 is Opus level in raw reasoning. But benchmarks don't tell you everything. The real story is in production use, where speed, reliability, and edge case handling matter more than any single test score. Does Grok 4.5 actually change in the AI market? More than you might think. For months, the narrative has been Opus is untouchable. Competitors argued about percentage points, who could reach 85% when Opus was at 92. Now someone's claimed the throne. If Grok 4.5 holds up under independent testing, it fundamentally reshapes the market. Anthropic charges a premium for Opus. If Grok is genuinely equivalent, users will switch. Not everyone, some are locked in through integrations, but significant numbers will trial Grok, and many will stay. That's real pressure on Anthropic to innovate faster. It also validates AI's approach. The narrative was always that you need Google's resources, OpenAI's funding, or Anthropic's research culture to compete. XAI said no to all three and built a frontier model anyway. That attracts top AI talent, venture capital, and engineers who want to work on something faster moving. The arms race accelerates. We're not looking at years-long gaps anymore, we are looking at months. Anthropic has Opus 4.1 in the lab. OpenAI has GPT-5 coming. DeepSeek is pushing hard. Mistral is innovating faster than expected. The next 12 months will see more frontier model releases than the entire previous 2 years combined. And this is where things get unpredictable. So how do you actually use Grok 4.5? It's available through xai.com and integrated into X, Elon's social media platform. You can access it if you have an X Premium subscription. The interface is straightforward. Type a prompt just like you would with ChatGPT or Claude, and Grok responds in real time. The key difference is personality. Grok's conversational style is more casual and willing to engage with controversial topics compared to Opus. For some users, that's appealing. For others, it's a drawback if you want a more neutral AI assistant. To get started, go to xai.com and sign up, or access it through X if you're already premium. Start with basic prompts to test the model's reasoning ability, then move to coding tasks or research questions. Try giving it a real problem you've been stuck on. That's the best way to gauge if it actually lives up to the Opus-level hype. Here's the pro tip. Test it on something you already know the answer to. Try a coding challenge you could solve yourself, or ask it to explain a complex paper. The goal is to see whether Grok 4.5 actually outthinks you, or if the marketing got ahead of reality. One more thing, expect it to be fast. Speed was one of X AI's key claims, and early users are reporting impressively quick response times compared to Opus. That matters when you're iterating on complex problems. So here's what all this means. The elite tier of AI models just got competitive in a way it hasn't been since Opus dropped. For 6 months, the story was simple. Opus was the best, and everyone else was behind. Now it's Opus versus Grok 4.5, and we'll know within weeks whether X AI's claims hold up under real scrutiny from the AI community and actual users in production. If they do, we're entering a new era where multiple companies are pushing toward genuine frontier AI. That matters for everyone. For developers, it means real choice. You're not locked into one model anymore. For companies building AI products, it means pressure to innovate faster because the competitive moat just shrunk. For the broader AI race, it means diversity. When multiple teams are competing at elite levels, you get faster progress and less concentration of power. The biggest question isn't whether Grok 4.5 is good. Clearly X AI is serious and has invested heavily. The question is whether it's maintainable. Can X AI keep up with Anthropic and OpenAI over the next 2 years, or was this one breakthrough that gets overtaken? Here's what to watch. Benchmarks from independent evaluators over the next month, real-world user reports in AI communities, and whether major companies start integrating Grok 4.5 into their products. That'll tell you if Elon got it right. Follow for daily AI news to stay on top of these updates as they break.